Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the grifter's art of just asking questions. You know, that delightful rhetorical trick where someone pretends to be on a quest for truth, but it's really just pulling random conspiracy theories out of their arse like a magician yanking scarves out of a hat. Only instead of scarves, it's half-baked nonsense from the darkest corners of Twitter. Because why offer up any evidence or, I don't know, a coherent argument when you can just throw a curveball with all the subtlety of a brick through a Travelodge window at a far-right riot? See, the beauty of just asking questions continues. It's like a verbal get-out-of-jail-free card for the sort of person who thinks that critical thinking means sprinkling your brain cells with a bit of salt and popping them in the microwave for 30 seconds. Let's dive deep into the loony pool, shall we? Are dogs going missing in Stirling because Neil Oliver sacrifices them in his black magic rituals under a gibbous moon? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. After all, hair doesn't get that luscious from herbal shampoo alone. There's got to be some druid blood magic involved. Maybe he's actually summoning the ghost of his broadcasting career to haunt YouTube with his half-baked clickbait pseudo-history. But hey, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just, curious. And speaking of the ethically dubious, does Count Dankula have syphilis from vaping gamer girl bathwater? I'm not suggesting he's got a kink for the latest artisanal e-liquids flavour profile, unwashed Instagram influencer, but you have to wonder if his trolling's just the byproduct of some long-term brain damage, or maybe the poor guy just took one too many ironic dives into the deep web and came up with a case of something the NHS hasn't even got a name for yet. But of course, I'm just innocently pondering the possibilities here.
I'm still racist.
No harm in a bit of speculation, right? Now, have you ever considered that the underside of Darren Grimes' desk might look like Starry Night if you shine a UV lamp in there? I'm not saying he's been expressing his admiration for Tommy Robinson in creative ways. You have to admit there's perhaps a certain straight-chasing self-hatred to him spouting far-right apologetics. Maybe he's even found a new medium for his questionable taste in art. Could he end up winning the Ernst Röhm Award for excellence in collaboration? Who am I to judge? I'm just innocently asking questions like any concerned citizen would. And then there's Paul Joseph Watson, the patron saint of angry kitchen rants. Does his Nigel Farage body pillows smell like brandy and cigars? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Because if you're going to go full-on Churchill cosplay whilst furiously typing out diatribes against vegan sausage rolls, surely you need a bit of old-timey ambience. I'm just saying, it's not unreasonable to suspect a man of his particular persuasion might enjoy snuggling up to a soft plush likeness of Farage whilst whispering sweet nothings about the good old days of empire. But hey, I'm not claiming that's true, I'm just putting it out there for the public to chew on. And finally, does Nigel Farage wank off dogs for cheap baccy? I don't know, I'm just asking questions. But let's be real. If there was ever a man who looked like he would do anything for a cut-price pack of Rothmans, it's Nigel. Maybe that's how he keeps himself so sprightly. Gotta keep those forearms in shape for all that pint-raising and flag-waving. Or maybe, just maybe, he's found a new low in his quest to ever avoid doing an honest day's work. Do two St. Bernards enter the covered smoking area of his gentleman's club each night? But of course this is all just theoretical. I am merely a humble inquirer, dipping my toes into the vast, murky waters of speculation. Nothing to see here, folks, just an innocent bloke asking some totally reasonable questions. And that's the genius of it, isn't it? Just asking questions means never having to admit you're talking utter bollocks. You can weave a web of complete lunacy, then step back with a smile and say, "Hey, don't shoot the messenger, I'm just trying to start a conversation." It's like playing verbal dodgeball with reality, duck and weave. When somebody throws a fact your way, just sidestep it with another question and a wink, because who needs facts when you've got suspicion right? You see, just asking questions is the intellectual equivalent of farting in a crowded elevator and looking around with wide-eyed innocence. Who, me? I'm not saying aliens built the pyramids, I'm just asking, maybe they did. It's a masterstroke, really. Say something utterly ridiculous and duck for cover under the guise of curiosity. It's like the diet soda of debate tactics. Looks like real engagement, tastes like stupidity, and won't fill you up with anything resembling facts. It's the same kind of logical hoodoo where someone says, I'm not saying 5G caused the pandemic, but isn't it funny, right, how we got it just suddenly that there's a pandemic? Yeah, it's bloody hilarious, right up there with the idea that JFK is still about to return, flat earth and the war in the Ukraine being a hoax. But what really kills me about it is the faux humility of it all. I'm just a humble seeker of the truth, they say, like they're some kind of spiritual warrior on a quest to uncover hidden wisdom of the ancients, when really they've just been up all night binging YouTube videos made by a bloke in his mum's basement with a webcam and a grudge against reality. It's like calling yourself an investigative journalist just because you once glanced at the Daily Mail whilst getting a haircut. And let's be honest, the whole just asking questions shticks is a slippery slope to full-on nuttery. It starts with a harmless little query. Could Big Pharma be hiding a cure for cancer? The next thing you know, you're knee-deep in a Facebook group where people are debating whether Keir Starmer has Jimmy Savile cryogenically frozen in his basement on the orders of his WEF puppet masters. I'm not saying there's a secret cabal of lizards running the world, but have you ever noticed how politicians never blink? I mean, let's face it, just asking questions is the last refuge of the terminally dim. It's the rhetorical equivalent of that annoying guy who enters the bar and corners you in a rant about how the government is controlling your thoughts through microwave ovens. It's like, mate, I'm just here for a pint, not an impromptu TED talk on why the earth is flat. But of course you can't tell them to sod off because they've got the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free cards. I'm just asking questions, man. Can't a bloke ask a question anymore? Oh, we're well beyond that, mate. We've evolved. We're in the post-fact, post-reason, post-sanity era. You're not asking questions, you're planting little seeds of lunacy, hoping they'll sprout into full-grown forests of crazy. But don't worry, I'm not accusing you of being mad. I'm just asking questions. So, this is Plague Dr. Jim signing off, saying that up to 30% of Tommy Robinson's diet is bones of asylum seekers. And I can legally say that because up to clearly includes the number 0 within its set. Signing off.